Really glad you could join us again.
It's great to be here.
These discussions around the review lessons, they're always so valuable, aren't they? It's a chance to revisit these big ideas and see how they're actually, working in our lives.
Absolutely. It's like weaving threads together.
And today we're also going to get into a fantastic question that came in from one of you, which fits right in with what we're exploring. So definitely stick around for that.
Yes, looking forward to that. So this review period, review 5, it has this, incredibly powerful central theme. God is but love, and therefore so am I.
That alone is huge.
It is. And today we're focusing on 2 lessons that really help us unpack what that means in practice, ideas we've seen before, but now we're integrating them.
Okay, great. So let's start with the first one, lesson 155. I will step back and let him lead the way.
Right.
This one, for me, it speaks directly to that internal shift, doesn't it? Moving away from trying to run the show with our own limited thinking, our ego mind.
Exactly. That part of us that's always planning, worrying, trying to control outcomes based on fear.
Yeah, the constant mental gymnastics.
And the Course points out something crucial here. That world we're trying so hard to navigate and control, it's fundamentally illusory, built on separation. So trying to manage it from the ego's standpoint is exhausting and ultimately futile.
Just spinning your wheels.
Like that. You're using a faulty map, the ego's fear-based perception, to navigate a landscape that isn't even solid ground in the way you think it is.
That really resonates. I mean, think about how much energy gets poured into trying to force things, predict everything.
Oh, definitely. From that place of anxiety.
Right. And this lesson is saying, look, there's another way. It's not about being passive or irresponsible. It's about recognizing there's a wiser guidance system available.
Yes. It's like you have this incredibly sophisticated inner GPS connected to divine wisdom, but you've been insisting on using, a crumpled, hand-drawn map based on past fears.
Yeah, that's a good image. So stepping back isn't giving up. It's actually smart. It's letting the expert navigator take the wheel.
Precisely. It's exchanging the burden of figuring everything out alone for the relief of trusting a guidance that actually knows the way. And the Course talks about the visible signs of this shift.
Yes, I love this part.
It mentions things like more frequent smiles, quiet eyes, serene foreheads.
It's not a fake positivity, is it? It's the natural result of releasing that tension.
Exactly. It's the relaxation that comes when you stop fighting, stop trying to impose your will on everything, and just allow yourself to be guided by truth. A quiet confidence settles in.
That deep inner peace you can sometimes feel.
Comes from letting go and trusting that higher wisdom.
Which leads us perfectly into the next lesson, lesson 156.
I walk with God in perfect holiness.
Okay, now this one feels even more radical somehow.
It does, but it flows directly from 155, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you truly step back and let him lead the way.
Then you're walking with him.
Exactly. And if God is perfect holiness and you are walking with him, created by him, then what does that say about you?
That you must be holy too. Perfectly holy.
Right. Not as something you have to earn or achieve someday, but as your fundamental reality, your inherent nature.
That challenges so many ingrained beliefs about ourselves, beliefs about unworthiness, sin, inadequacy.
Deeply ingrained. The Course uses the term sinlessness here, which can be misunderstood. It doesn't mean we don't make mistakes or have flawed perceptions in this world.
Right. It's not about behavior necessarily.
It's about our core identity. Our true self, as created by God, is pure, innocent, eternally untouched by the ego's illusions or errors. That identity is perfect holiness.
Realizing that feels incredibly liberating. It flips the whole script. It's not, I need to become good enough to walk with God. It's, I am already holy inherently, and that's why I can walk with God.
Yes, you're simply recognizing what's already true.
For me, I sometimes touch that feeling when I, finally surrender a problem I've been wrestling with. Stop the mental churn, stop trying to fix it all myself, and just trust. Trust the love that's there underneath it all.
That moment of release.
Yeah. There's this sense of rightness. Okay, I'm held. I'm exactly where I need to be. It's okay.
And the Course emphasizes that understanding this inherent holiness, this sinlessness, is actually our greatest protection.
Which seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? The world teaches us the opposite.
Completely. The world says, see the danger, see the sin, build walls, defend yourself, judgment, fear, attack. Those are the world's defenses.
Right. Protect yourself from sin.
But the Course says, no, your true safety, your real protection, lies in recognizing your own invulnerable holiness and seeing it in others too. Because nothing real can be threatened.
So our perfect holiness means we're already aligned with perfect peace, safety, love, because we're aligned with God.
Exactly. And walking in holiness means living from that recognition, seeing it in yourself, absolutely, but crucially, extending that vision.
Yeah.
Looking past the ego stories, the flaws, the attacks, the differences in everyone you meet.
Seeing the shared holiness underneath.
Yes, that core of light that connects us all, which can't actually be harmed by anything in the illusion.
So it reverses the world's logic. Instead of see threat, build defense, it's see holiness, lay down defense.
And that's where you find true safety, real peace, even joy. This radical trust lets you be gentle, undefended, because deep down, you know there's nothing to fear. You know who walks with you.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to take in, but it feels right.
It's a profound shift in perception.
Yeah.
And it ties directly into the listener question we wanted to address. It's such a relatable point.
Yes, let's get to that.
The question was, how can I really feel like God is leading the way when I'm still facing so many challenges?
That's such a real and honest question. I think everyone who practices this stuff has felt that way at some point.
Absolutely. It's that feeling of disconnect, isn't it? You're trying to apply these ideas, trying to step back, but life is still throwing curveballs, maybe big ones.
Yeah, the job loss happens, or the health scare, or the relationship struggle.
Right.
And you think, okay, I'm asking for guidance, but where is it? Why is this still so hard? It's completely understandable to feel that way.
It really is. And I think the first thing to say is that the guidance the Course talks about, it isn't always about making the problems disappear instantly.
Right. It's not necessarily a magic fix for the external situation.
Often, the guidance, and maybe even more importantly, our own growth, happens through how we navigate those challenges.
Yeah.
Stepping back isn't about checking out or pretending the problems don't exist.
It's not passivity.
No, it's about shifting your inner resource. Instead of relying solely on your own stressed out, limited ego mind to solve everything.
Which often just makes things feel worse.
Right. You consciously invite a higher wisdom, the Holy Spirit, to join you in the situation, to help you see it differently.
So it's less about waiting for some grand external sign and more about an internal shift in allegiance almost.
Yes, and it's often subtle. It's that quiet nudge, that slight shift in perspective, that feeling of peace that can arise even when the circumstances haven't changed yet. It comes when you deliberately pause.
Okay, so practically speaking, let's say you're right in the middle of something tough, feeling overwhelmed. Instead of the usual mental scramble,
Or collapsing in despair thinking God's not helping.
right, instead of that, you pause, take a breath, maybe even acknowledge, wow, this feels really hard right now. I feel lost.
Acknowledge the feeling without letting it run the show.
And then in that space, you make a choice. You consciously offer it up.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be complicated. Simple words spoken sincerely from the heart. Okay, I don't know what to do here. My own ideas aren't working. I'm willing to step back. Please lead the way.
Or even just, I need help seeing this differently. Show me.
Yes. I trust there's a loving way through this, even if I can't see it right now. I open myself to your guidance. It's about cultivating that willingness to let go of your grip on how you think things should be.
That willingness seems key. It's not demanding an outcome, but opening a door.
It is. And that quiet knowing, that gentle whisper, often comes after that conscious act of surrender, of yielding. It's an act of faith that builds with practice.
And this is where Lesson 156, I walk with God in perfect holiness, becomes so incredibly useful, right? Especially when you're feeling challenged.
Absolutely crucial. Because those feelings of being lost, overwhelmed, defeated, where do they come from?
From the ego, from believing we're separate, small, sinful, inadequate.
Exactly. And that belief system creates so much mental noise, so much static, that it becomes really hard to hear the quiet voice of guidance.
So remembering your holiness, it cuts through the static.
It helps quiet it down. Reminding yourself, wait a minute, that's not who I really am. My true self walks with God in perfect holiness. I am innocent, safe, eternally connected to love and wisdom. That affirmation helps shift your focus away from the ego's fear-mongering.
It's like tuning the radio dial away from the fear station to the truth station.
That's a great way to put it. The Holy Spirit's guidance, that loving perspective, is always available. But our own fearful thoughts, our self-condemnation, can obscure it. Remembering your inherent holiness doesn't magically erase the external challenge itself, maybe not immediately.
But it changes your internal state?
Yes, it changes the inner landscape so you become receptive to the guidance that's already there. You align your mind with truth, and from that alignment, the feeling of being guided, the clarity, can emerge.
So it's an active practice, not just passively waiting to feel guided, but actively choosing to remember who you are, especially when the ego is screaming otherwise.
Exactly. It's choosing to identify with your true self, the holy child of God, rather than the ego's fearful story.
So for the listener who asked, and really for all of us navigating challenges, the message seems to be, you're not doing it wrong if it feels hard.
Not at all. That feeling is part of the human experience within the illusion.
But every single time you consciously choose, even for a moment, to pause that frantic ego thinking, to step back and invite that higher guidance.
That is a huge step.
Yeah.
It's a powerful act of trust, and it is always heard, always registered.
You're strengthening that muscle, that connection.
You absolutely are. And know that you are exactly where you need to be to learn whatever the situation is presenting. The very fact that you're asking this question shows your deep commitment to truth.
Keep practicing. Keep stepping back. Keep remembering your holiness.
And trust that the clarity and the feeling of guidance will come. It unfolds as you continue to choose it.
Okay. This has been quite the exploration. Lessons 155 and 156, stepping back to let him lead, and remembering we walk with him in perfect holiness.
Two sides of the same beautiful coin, really.
They invite us into such a different way of living. One based not on struggle and fear, but on trust and peace. Recognizing that inherent holiness isn't about ego inflation,
Not at all.
but about recognizing the joyful, solid foundation from which we can actually receive and follow that divine guidance.
Beautifully put. And living from that truth doesn't just bring peace to us, it automatically extends it. When you see holiness in yourself, you can't help but start seeing it everywhere, in everyone. It changes everything.
It dissolves the barriers the ego builds.
Exactly. And remember that overarching theme for this review. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Our existence, our true nature, is the evidence of that love.
So the invitation for all of us really is to put this into practice. Maybe just start small. The next time that wave of overwhelm or uncertainty hits, just try it. Pause, breathe, and maybe just whisper that phrase internally. I will step back and let him lead the way.
Just see what happens. Notice any shift, however small, in how you feel inside.
It seems so simple, but that small act of willingness can open up so much. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. It's always a joy. We look forward to continuing the exploration with you next time.
And here's something to ponder until then. If our holiness is already complete, what stepping back from our own frantic plans could reveal about the perfect path that might already be laid out right before us?